DBS plays.
A lot of us could definitely tell that around that time, Sega missed the point of what made people love Sonic Generations. Of course, they were trying to appeal to the memers, you know, people making a bunch of memes about Sonic. They're trying to appeal to people who watch like Game Grumps and some other people that basically make fun of Sonic constantly, make fun of the fans. So that was Sega at that time. Or at least Sonic Team at that time, but you know, Sega commanding it, I guess. I don't know. It probably helped them that people that at the time the loud minority made it seem like people like the classic Sonic games more because like it probably helped them because it's probably way cheaper to make this game than a full-on 3D game. So like, you know, just a moment, folks. Alright, I'm back. Gotta get some water there. I have to be careful with coughing and sneezing right now, which is really hard for me to do as a person with had allergies usually. Yeah. Basically, back when they thought most of the fandom preferred the old games, the older Genesis games overall, or only preferred them or whatever. Yeah, they were trying to appeal to them, and I remember thinking, like, you know, they had all kinds of these things, and let's see, like, it was true. Okay, so I remember hearing about how, like, Sonic was in a bad place. That was because what they did with Sonic Boom, the Sonic Boom games. Sonica, no. I was slowing down there for a moment. Kind of checking around in some ways, check on, you know, where the big rings are at. Bring up let's see here. Yeah, they were trying to appeal to the memers, the trendy memes of the internet. They were trying to appeal to people who straight up hated Sonic. Some, I mean, not all, but some that were they just straight up hated Sonic. Here's a giant ring. This is my favorite special stage. That's what this game has my favorite special stage of any Sonic game. Because it's actually fun, it's challenging enough, it's not frustrating to control. But this is definitely the best special stage type of any Sonic game. Oh yeah, that's right, I gotta get rings to keep the timer up. These speed up my... yeah. But anyway, it's been a little while. And I really like the music here too. But anyway. This actually at one point this was like my music I used for this is the music I used for a little while for like the outro for DBS plays back in the day, not the current series of DBS play, but anyway. And they actually feel more fair. But anyway. Yeah, well, you get my point. You know, you probably know the history of, you know, the time that Sonic Mania came out. And it was very, very frustrating for us actual Sonic fans to see it go down like this. They go cheap with the games. I do really like this right here, also. There's a lot of stuff I like in this game. But, yeah, I really like the random Puyo Puyo, or I guess Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and, you know. Let's see here. I like how they just, you know, they randomly implemented it. That's pretty cool. But yeah. I'm just glad today that Sega finally realizes, hey, you know, it isn't just the classic games that people like. It's also, it's mainly the well, 2000s games, I guess you could say. Late 90s/2000s games that most people like. They still like the classics, but they also like the ones with the good stories. And from what I've heard from one person who made a really good point, someone who made a really good point was they tried to appeal not to just the loud minority of people who only like the Genesis games, but also the critics who probably also only like them. Now, there were problems with the games in the late 2000s. The later mid to late 2000s. There were problems. Not gonna lie about that. It was hard to go back to some of it. A little hard to go back to some of those games, like Sonic 06, Sonic in the Secret Rings, especially. Sonic Unleashed was fine, but you know, I have problems with it. But let's see. Sonic and the Black Knight, I mean, it's fine, it's okay. And some of these other games. And some of the other games, but well, the whole purpose of that was me trying to get the rings, and then it missed. But anyway, okay, there we go, there we go. But, there we go. But, yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, we're in a good place today. Mostly thanks to the Sonic movies. Sega finally realized, hey, you know, again. And so the result is we're finally getting some really solid Sonic games again. We'll see, like in the late 2000s, there were some that were, again, not as good. And then they came out with Sonic Colors, which, here's the thing at the time. I actually really liked Sonic Colors at the time. And believe it or not, I actually laughed at some of the jokes, or I thought, haha, these are actually kind of funny. Looking back, Sonic Colors is a very okay game with an okay plot, simple plot, where the dialogue is absolutely cringy as can be. But the thing about Sonic Colors is the reason I liked it so much at the time was because at that time I was actually listening more to, I was letting myself believe that yes, the problem with the 2000s games was because all these problems that people were pointing out, all this stuff that people were pointing out as problems. I was like, okay, yeah, okay, maybe I do agree. But then, you know, when I started actually forming my own opinion and start getting more of my own opinion, I was like, wait a minute. These games weren't bad, they were fun, you know. The ones that people were starting to say were not as good or just straight up bad, and, you know. So then Sonic Colors comes out, and I was like, okay, alright. You know, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was just going to be Sonic Unleashed, which I ended up not appreciating at the time, or I ended up not liking as much at the time. But I was like, okay, Sonic Colors. It just kind of looks like, you know, I thought at the time, I was like, it just kind of looks like Sonic Unleashed, but without the Werehog. And well, then I played it and I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. That's good. I thought I like this so far. You know, I enjoyed my playthrough the first time, and I started thinking, you know what? It was a pretty good game. It was a solid game, and then, but I only played through it the whole way once. That was the thing. I played through it once at the time, and then we got the announcement for Sonic. Generations. I was like, oh, cool. Well, anyway, it was a cool idea at the time, and it's still, and that is actually one of the best Sonic games. It's not even just because they reference a lot of old material. It's because it had phenomenal level design. It has its problems still, but it had phenomenal level design. But anyway. So yeah, Sonic... But yeah, I look back at Sonic Colors, and it's a very okay game overall. I'll probably still play it at some point for the channel. Either I will for, you know... maybe I'll play the, like for the Wii version, I'll probably, actually play that for the main show for MOPGX. But for, I'm trying to see if there's a ring up here somewhere. Well, thankfully I don't need rings to, enter the special stages. Okay, well, whatever. I bet you, yeah, I know, it's probably annoying that I just completely missed that, checkpoint. Oh, yeah, I gotta hit these, blue, missiles. But, yeah. Sonic Colors at the time I enjoyed a little bit. Sonic Generations I still enjoy today, not as much as some other Sonic games, but I still enjoy it. It was after that, I mean, that's whenever I'm like, okay. Or, after that, there was a point, whenever people started saying all these bad things, I almost felt like I had to defend any new Sonic game that came out. Which I probably didn't do that or myself any favors by doing that. By defending even Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Or, I still hate the, Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. That's a very boring game, and Metroidvania does not match Sonic at all. But anyway, yeah. Which looking back, Sonic Mania was absolutely there. Sonic Mania was absolutely there. Not Mania. Sonic Boom was absolutely there to hold fans over until the next mainline Sonic game came out. But then Sega screwed all that up, so you know. Anyway, the 2010s overall, we all know it today, was not a very good time for Sonic. If it's still one of your favorite times, that's fine. It's just, for a lot of us, it was, okay. At that time, people were saying the 2005 to 2010, before Sonic Colors, was the dark age of Sonic. We now know that the real dark age, I mean, a lot of us know nowadays, the real dark age was the 2010s for a majority of Sonic fans. Because, yeah, it started out good. You know, again, Sonic Colors looking back was okay, but Sonic, the console versions of Sonic, I mean, well, basically the real Sonic Generations was definitely the, shoot, it was like one of the only good games, other than this one, to come out of the 2010s. And I mean, Team Sonic Racing, I mean, okay, in terms of mainline games, which I guess this one is still kind of considered a mainline game, just 2D. The mainline games, there were only two good ones in that entire decade, which was this one and, you know, Sonic Generations. I like Sonic Generations more than this one, but, you know, again, if I'm talking about games that are just good in general, this one and Sonic Generations were the only good Sonic game, mainline Sonic games to come out of the 2010s. The Sonic racing games have been fun. Not the best, but they've been fun. They were good. I thought Team Sonic Racing is alright. It's fine. Just nothing great. And I think I've already stated this before, but I like, unless I was just practicing talking to myself about it's like that if I ever make a video on it. I just like Sonic, the first Sonic racing game. Well, by that I mean Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I just liked it more than even Sonic Racing Transformed. Sonic Racing Transformed has some better aspects here and there, and has some more creative ideas. I just enjoyed the Sonic, the one that was Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I don't know why I keep jumping into these. But yeah, I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it more, and I have a few reasons. I may explain in a video, but the basics of it is like, the basic thing is the progression of how you unlock everything. But anyway, yeah, I just enjoyed, yeah, screw it. I just enjoyed the Sonic and Sega racing more than Sonic Racing Transformed overall. Like, there's stuff I like. Well, okay, yeah. But anyway, those were decent games. It's not like we didn't get any. It's not like these were the only two good games in general. They were just the only two good mainline Sonic games. Which, okay, technically Sonic, but both Sonic and Sega and Sonic Racing Transformed and all that technically Sega crossover games, but Sonic was there to help sell the product. It's just that it became a Sonic series when Team Sonic Racing came out. Now we're getting, which at this point in time we only know a teaser, and we only know that the voice lines are done for Sonic Racing Crossroads or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, basically Crossroads is part of it. But Sonic, yeah. Sonic Racing Crossroads was, let's see, details, thank you. Yeah, Sonic Racing Crossroads, like, that's gonna be the next one. But, yeah. Excuse me, folks. Got some coughing problems. Okay, we're back. I need to get to why I'm having some coughing problems. Well, it's because I'm having coughing problems because, well, allergies. But the reason I need to not cough as much right now, or sneeze as much, which is a real challenge.